and your lives.
Great. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Lolo Lesser, but I think Sue is going to introduce us all today.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, I am. Hello, I'm Sue Blythe, and I am with We the World. We are so pleased to be part of World Unity Week. And you can reach us at we.net and find out all about the 11 days of global unity in September, and we'll be amplifying this session again during the 11 days in September. But here we are in June. And it is, again, World Unity Week. I'm coming to you from the Gardens of Global Unity. And we are in the Garden of Environment, where I am coming from the Climate Collaboratory. And we're bringing together people who are making the world a more peaceful and beautiful place for one another, for all living things, and for the planet that sustains us. And today I'm just really pleased to welcome Lolo Lesser, who is bringing our Empatharian movement for peace. And I'd like to have you say a little about yourself and tell us what we're in for in the next hour.
Well, thank you, Sue. Well, I am Lolo Lesser, which is a nickname and my maiden name. And I'm the founder and director of Empatharian America, whose project, Empatharian Movement for Peace, is now presenting something new called Peace Boom. We debuted it just now on the 20th of June in honor of Father's Day and all of our ancestors, mothers and fathers, really. So, and this is a series of 12 movements and follows the book that I just put out, which is Low Impact Exercise for Peace. So we are combining the idea of moving our bodies, moving our minds, and moving our spirits towards a more peaceful self first, and just projecting out into the world. So that's the idea of the peace boom. We're going to be booming peace all around us. And I'm excited that we have a new song that's been composed. And I'm also very proud of the people who have participated with us in the We the World co-sponsored World House Challenge. And Sue, I sent a few files to you, and I'm wondering if you got that email with the few files.
And I sent it on, and Callum is going to help us with that.
Oh, that's really fun. So good. I was wondering if we'd be able to start with just someone else doing the movements, which are the 12 movements were also included in the World House Challenge, which was based on Martin Luther King's heartfelt Nobel Peace Prize winning words. Well, he won the Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of civil rights activists in the United States for all the work they've done. And he said, we have a great big problem. We have a world house, and we now need to live together. We need to learn to live together. So this was the key for me, is learning to live together. So I'm picturing the project Empatharian Movement for Peace as creating a language of gesture and body movement. This is the picture, that's the big picture, is that we will participate with the Peace Boom and perhaps find our own movements that might express differently than what some of the gestures are. But we will come together and convene as co-creators of a gestural language that might be universal. Okay, so let's start where we are, which is just doing a very simple, wonderful exercise for peace. And this is going to be us learning it together. So first, let's start. Callum, if you could start at minute 443 on the World House Challenge video. We had several participants, but this is the ones from Africa who did a really wonderful rendition. And this is the family of Tunokwe, who's quite a famous personage and does wonderful things in Africa, specifically Johannesburg. So she is here. Here we go.
This is the great new problem of mankind. We have inherited a big house, gray world house, in which we have to live together, black and white, Easterners and Westerners, Gentile and Jew, Catholic and Protestant, Muslim and Hindu, a family unduly separated in ideas, culture, and interests. Ooh, we can never again live without each other, must learn somehow in this one big world house to live with each other. Never again live without each other, must learn somehow to live with each other. Never again live without each other, must learn somehow to live with each other. Never again live without each other, must learn somehow to live with each other. In this one big world, we live together. In this one big world, we live together. In this one big world, we live together. In this one big world, we live together.
Siphile ngokwehlukana asizifundise ukuphilisana ngeke siphile ngokwehlukana asizifundise.
So just to let you know, that was the words in Zulu, which we were so excited to hear that beautiful translation. And I want to learn those words. They're just such a heartfelt sound and words. And this is what we want, is to have the movement that we're doing stimulate us into doing our own, enjoyable movement and being, yes, more improvisational ourselves and in touch with where our bodies want to move. And we're starting with doing some very basic movements. So let's see, what is my next piece of artwork? I think it's our Peace Boom. Just wanted to give you a little piece of that. Callum, if you can do the first attachment, it's just a picture. Just a picture about that this actually 12 movements will transform us deeply in the world and in our relationships. And it is low impact exercise for peace in ourselves and the world. So thank you, Callum. That's fine. So let's, with no further ado, well, one more thing. The next one, I believe, is something else. And if you could share the next one, Callum, please. The next one is, so this is what the movements are actually. So under the word empatharian are what the movements are. Now, I'm on the left-hand column is words that were a poem by my mother, who was the creator of the concept of Empatharian. And her name was Tammy Marina. And I've slightly changed the words, and it could be that we will play the song, but the song starts, movements start with I stretched out swaying. So this is the actual language of it is in the right-hand side. So as we did with the Martin Luther King piece, we interpreted his language, and it happened to fit so perfectly with the movements that we did in a way that was not just spontaneous, not just a coincidence. That's what I want to say. So there's something about the order of the movements that's very much a natural alignment and movement of thought. And I want to say, so the first 4 movements are setup, setting up. The next 4 movements, which are the actions, and the last 4 are the actual results of our work. So the results of our work, if we skip to it, actually is inner joy, wisdom, heart, and then connection. So that's inner joy, wisdom, heart, connection. So we'll go through that. But we're going to start with setting it up in ourselves and in the body. This is the way of the natural order of internal and external change. So we have to set things up so that they are in alignment with themselves and with each other. So I'm going to start. Thanks, Callum. That's enough screen sharing. I wonder if I should have, Sue, can I get your input? Should I read the words all together? Making a stand. Let me just tell you.
Yes,
I will
please.
tell you, yes, the making a stand for peace building. Everyone wins. So that's first 4. Inspiring, inspired. That's one more. Respectful, respect. Energy, energy, seeking. So those are the 4 implements that we use. We use inspiring, respect, energy, and seeking, always staying open, seeking. So this is part of the practice of what we practice with doing this every day. And then the last 4, seeking inner joy, which you will interpret that for yourself, what that means. That's an up and down motion. Wisdom, heart, and then connection is where it's all at, really. And we'll get to where that is, connecting to the future and the past as well. So now we're going to, and staying in the present, in the now. So that's what connection is. And that position, by the way, is the same position as health. Health is connection. That's quite logical. So now all of these movements are pretty much what Tammy Narina created. I just want you to know, out of her spirit and intuition as a dancer and a speaker of 4 languages. And so the English is not really the correct thing, possibly. So I want you to listen beyond the English to what you feel the words might be as I do the movements. The movement is the primary language, okay? So now we're going to start. Is everybody ready to maybe stand up, or if you need to sit and do the movements, you're welcome to sit and do the movements. I
I'm
will,
gonna sit just because I have bad knees
that's
and
great.
I would be more comfortable sitting.
That's great. If you could slightly move your screen, Sue, so that we can see a little more of the upper body of you, then it would be kind of cool.
Upper body,
Yeah,
like that.
well, the thing is, probably you need to back up actually to see the whole thing, but you know what? It's okay.
That's
I'm
as
going-
far as I can go. Well,
That's okay. That's fine. I'm
okay.
gonna back up here and move a few chairs so that you can see my whole body. Okay? Can
You'll
you-
have to talk very loud,
I will
please.
talk very loudly. Is that better? Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to start just holding our hands at our spirit and holding two very gentle fists. Okay? This is, imagine you're holding a baby bird in there. Very gently, keeping it as a boundary and holding it, but with each hand holding two different baby birds that are connected in the same family, but we're going to stretch them out. So now take those fists and turn your hands so that the backs of the hands are touching. Backs, and you're facing one fist up.
Can you come closer so we can see better?
Yes.
Thank you.
You've got to coach me on how to show.
Yeah.
One fist is up to the sky and one fist is down to the earth. So we're going to be stretching that baby bird. So one fist is actually, let's see, how do I do that? Yeah, turned as much as you can. And that will give us a really beautiful stretch in that arm. And when I do this, I step back slightly from my spread out legs. And then when we're stretched, be aware of the top of your head and stretching the top of your head straight up to the ceiling, to the sky, without bending your neck. You actually end up tilting your chin very slightly forward as we're aiming the very top of our head straight up. Okay? That was how my meditation teacher taught us to keep our spine in alignment. This is aligning the spine with gravity and with the earth, and it makes for the least amount of resistance so that you can stay in this position without having your neck get painful in any way. There we are. And we're stretching up. See how good that feels to stretch up and then letting go. So I'm letting go of this hand when I get to the top. I'm just showing you my hand. So when we get to the top, we're letting those baby birds free into the air and imagining them making a stand with us. So we're making a stand. And now we're leaning forward, slightly lean forward. Hands to the sides, one up above, one below, and we're just pushing the air. And that is peace building. So static is peace. If we don't move, that would be the position for peace. But peace is not peace building. So we're really pushing on the air to get moving the air into lungs, which is beautiful healing. And now I'm stepping out and moving arms out. My palms are facing up. And my neck is now, my chin is lifting and my neck is bending. And I am facing my face to the sky and the sun. I had a slight crack of my neck when I did that, which feels really good. So what we're doing with this bend is something special with the vagus nerve. We're helping the vagus nerve to be massaged, to release trauma, to release tension, and we're including everyone. So this movement again, everyone. So let's just do those first three for a minute. Callum, am I the speaker view, may I ask? Do I
You are in gallery mode right now so that everyone can see what everyone's doing.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. I want to see what everyone's doing, but I think everyone needs to see me larger. So
Okay.
they can see me larger. So if we could do a speaker view of me, Lolo, would that work?
Yep, you should be speaker now once you start talking.
Okay, here we go. So we're starting at the beginning with our baby bird. Let's do that a few times. We'll do it 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Really reaching with that last one. And now I'm leaning forward for peace building. Leaning forward, my front left knee, for me, it's my left knee that's the same direction the arms are going, is bent. So we've done that 3 times, nice and slow. Peace building. Then I pull my back leg, which was slightly back, out and step shoulder width apart my legs and bring my hands in front of me to go out. Everyone. Everyone. Let's do that again. Forward, everyone. Forward a 3rd time. Every. Then I bring my foot that was away from the peace building to wings. And this is the position for wings. It also is the position for courage and strength. So again, I have the baby birds held in my hands and that soft, gentle fist, and yet my arms are straight out from my shoulders, straight out from my shoulders, as much as is comfortable or doable. Never do what's not comfortable or doable. A little bit of stretch is really good, but we don't want to overdo it. It's not necessary. Simply going to the edge of what's comfortable and doable for you is what we do so that we can massage those neurons, massage that oxygen, massage the muscles so that they develop and become stronger along with the whole body and the breathing. So we've just finished the setup, which is, again, making a stand for peace building, everyone wins. And I want to start at the beginning again because there's another very important part to include in this. Does anyone have a guess what that might be? What else do you have to always include when you're doing exercise or movement? Got it, the breath, breathing. So we must do some special kind of breathing. And that breathing is belly breath. So just to practice the breathing now, and this is the setup to oxygenate us more. So we're bringing in oxygen to the lower depths of our lungs and into the back and all throughout the body. We're oxygenating better when we do a belly breath. It also activates the brain centers so that we release stress. It de-stresses us, breathing with the belly. So you can, this is a one thing that you can do in a moment, is do that belly breath when you need to de-stress. But sometimes doing a few of the motions helps anchor it as well. So let's just do a few belly breaths, and I'm going to use my hand to show when we breathe in. Your hand will go out because you're breathing in, and the hand goes out as the belly expands, okay? In through the nose. And we're going to be breathing out through the mouth. And the belly should go in. And in through the nose. And when you go out, make a noise. You can do this at the pace of normal breathing. Normally, when we do this breath, when you do a movement of the arm up or any motion up, you breathe in. And when you do a motion down, you'll breathe out. And soon it comes naturally. In through the nose, out through the mouth. How does that feel? Is everybody getting that? I'm not seeing a gallery view, so Sue, you'll have to give me feedback. Are you seeing people are doing okay with this? So now let's add the breathing in with this, our setup motions, making a stand for peace building. Okay, here we go. Making a stand for peace building. Stepping out, breathing in, and out as the neck goes back. And then in position, we do out and in. Winds. So we breathe out when we were coming in, and in as we're standing and lifting the spine, feeling that strength and courage and winning. Oops. My thing in the back fell down, so no problem, it's just a thing. So there we are, we have a setup. Let's do it one more time with the breath, and I'll do it a little more quickly so we can see how the breath goes. No sound. So I did 2 breaths per movement there so that we can get a little bit of extra breathing. And now we'll do the next movement. Ready? So we're out here and we're going to bring our hands in and to the center again, going straight out from the heart and going straight up to the sky. and going out like a rainbow with our hands facing out to the audience or to what this is the east for me. So usually we will always do these movements to the east to start. So that's another piece of this is we do the movements 4 times to the 4 directions. And then I always come in so easily to respectful and breathe in. And then energy. Very nice. And yes, the energy goes up to the sky and then naturally you breathe in and out as you go around. So it's an in and then an out at about the 45 degree or 90 degree. And then in as you come back. So this is seeking, and I love it when people touch the brow actually. Now there's one more piece of seeking that's very important to the exercise. And that's the eyes. When you're seeking, you're using your eyes and looking at the far horizon of wherever you are. So keeping your eyes on the far horizon straight ahead where your head is moving. Now there's another way to do that seeking, which is quite nice. That's the way you do it when you're seated. And if you'd like to do it this way when you're walking, when you're standing, you can do it this way. Taking 4 steps to do so. And then you can go the other way. So that was seeking with my eyes on the horizon and breathing in and out pretty naturally, but remembering the belly breath. So let's do those 4 now again. Simply inspiring, respectful, energy, and seeking. Okay? So here we go. We're going to be starting with the heart. So going straight out with our hands facing out. And then going straight up and out like a rainbow, facing the hands forward. Inspiring. Bringing them in for respectful. Breathing out as the energy, the respect sinks into us. And let's do one more breath. Letting the shoulders drop, feeling how our body lengthens up to the sky and down to the earth. Respectful, dignified, we're standing tall, giving respect and getting respect. Respectful energy. Going as far as is comfortable. And now the seeking. I'm going to do that again walking. Eyes on the horizon. Very nice.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you. Heart. Oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. I'm talking to a webinar and you're welcome to participate, but I'm kind of looking at a screen here. Thank you. So there we are. We've got, let's do it one more time so we have it in our brains. Sometimes doing things 3 times allows it to penetrate. Okay? Can you hear me okay? We're going to do inspiring, respectful energy seeking. So here we go. Inspiring, respectful, energy seeking. Very good. So that's the active ingredients of the peace. What do we get? What are we aiming at? We are aiming at the next part, which is inner joy. I'm going to turn sideways, although I do this straight on, but I want you to see how my hands turn into a wave. You see that wave? So they're going like a wave. And I'm kind of holding my thumbs together so that I make a proper wave. Down and up. That's inner joy. Then it very naturally goes into the next one, which is wisdom. This is such a wonderful one. And I often like to tilt my head back again to the sky and accepting our higher power and all the wisdom that comes from our ancestors and our higher power, whatever that might mean to you. Heart connection. Now, when I do this one, I take a step forward. So up till now, I've been doing a lot of standing still with my feet together. Since respectful energy seeking, that was all with my feet pretty much together, with my heels touching quite often. So, but now with heart, we're also, sometimes I like to move my arms forward, back and so it's a beating heart. Now, I know I used to do this position of heart differently. I just put my hands here. But you know what? Empatharian is about taking on board the gestures which have become knowledge, popular knowledge. So people can look at it and know what you're saying. And guess what? This is what people are using for that piece of us, our heart. So let's use it. We can lower our elbows. Like Sue is doing a beautiful job with that. And making a beautiful heart. And pointing our thumbs down. I often forget to point my thumbs down. Make that little heart point that can be so attractive. That's what we're doing, is we're magnetizing. Putting out and magnetizing that love. And then we're going to be connecting with that energy. So take that love, connect forward and back. So here's what I'm doing. Do it again to the side. And my front leg is the same as my front arm. And I am bending slightly my front leg. I hope you can see that. So it's a slight lunge forward. Connect. And this is one where I need to work on having my spine straight. Again, the head, top of the head straight to the sky. Keeping balance. This is a really wonderful exercise for keeping balance. And if you feel you need to do something, turn the back leg so your foot is making a 90-degree angle. So with the front one. And bend that knee just as far as you can, not overly much. And connect to the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, and the great-grandchildren, and the ancestors, all the way back to Africa. So we are connecting also to the trees, earth, and the sky. And this is to do with the 4 elements. So, and the 4 directions, which are so important to us. So I always start facing east, and I do the first connection to the east, the second one to the south, the third one to the west, and the fourth one to, and we can go into in future seminars perhaps why those directions are like that. These are the traditional indigenous wisdom directions. And each time I do a direction, I bring it back to the heart and then bring it out again. So it's several heart connections 4 times. So, shall we do the last part? Let's do the last part together, starting with inner joy. And again, I'll turn sideways, even though normally I would not. So we'll do inner joy, going up, arching over, down, up, opening to wisdom, higher power, and then coming into heart connection. Sometimes it works out that the east is diagonally, and then it's easier for you to see how my hands are going. There we are. So anybody have any questions so far? How did that feel? I would like to have gallery view.
Feels nice. It feels stretched.
Good.
It felt wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. And were the directions that I gave you any clarifying so that you knew what I was doing?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this background is a little hard to see what I'm doing.
No, it was okay.
Was it all okay?
Yeah, I think you can stand a little bit closer.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sue. So let's do that. I'll do the next part. So what I'd like to do now, that seems like we've gotten the whole 12 movements and learned them quite carefully. So let's do them together now. And then after we do that 3 times more, because we'll count that as the 4 directions, then we can do it with this new music that's been composed. And the new music that's been composed is a little different. It's allowing us to stretch out a little, move spontaneously and improvisationally before we start the peace boom. So in other words, it's a poem that has sort of a prologue, and then she says, I stretched out swaying, and that's when it starts. So she's talking about what laid the foundation and the place for her to discover this whole concept of Empatharian, of our bodies being a communication. You know, and also, yes?
I'm just wondering, can we start? I would prefer to start with the music and then go to the poem. I don't feel the need to do it 3 times leading up to that.
Okay.
I would prefer that.
All right. So you feel like you've learned it, huh?
All we need to do is follow what you're doing.
Yeah, that is the way. I guess everybody's been doing it. We've been watching videos and following along. I would like it that people internalize the learning, and I want to make a seminar so that they don't have to keep watching a video, so that they have it inside. So that's the idea. And I know Iona's been doing it quite a few days, haven't you, Iona?
Yes, I'm about up to 17 days. And
Wow,
I've done it outside, and I find that the words, even when I'm not doing the movements, the words are still floating around.
very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
it stays with me.
So now the words that stay with you are the words.
Making a stand for peace building,
Ah, nice.
everyone wins, etc.
Yeah.
It's like a record.
And how does that record affect your being the rest of the day as it comes?
It makes me happy. I mean, I like it.
Feels good.
Yeah.
So it helps focus your day.
Well, I wouldn't say exactly that. It just makes me feel peaceful.
There you go. That's what we wanted. Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, Callum, you want to start with the music, and I'm just going to stand up and move a little. Well, first, let's place my body. All right. So you can tell me where is the exact right spot.
Okay. That's too far. Better. Come closer. Yeah, right about there.
Well, now you won't be able to see the tops of my arms.
We know what you're doing, though.
All right. You know what I'm doing. You've learned it. That's great. Okay. Callum, can you play the music file, please?
Yep, 1 second. It's having trouble playing, so I just need to download it quick.
I thought I said it. It is a Google file, but I thought I said it that anybody with the link could play it. So we may have to go through something. This will give me a moment to talk about some of the great pre-movements that we're doing. And I can see Iona is doing some of these wonderful movements that are from Oriental traditions. And I call it self-massage. And we're letting the hands and arms just go freely around the body. And it ends up giving a nice thump, actually, to the kidneys. So up with the arms, Iona, a little bit. We can do that while we're listening. If it comes on.
I lay me down upon the grass, my hands upon my head, and near my back at last at rest. My eyes took on a different view. Thoughts spilled out slow and dull. In the listening felt the love. Stillness spread and comfort the soul. Warmth and light from top to toe. And in the sweet reverie
Well, thank you. So what did you think of that one? Kind of nice the way it's different words going faster.
I couldn't see you at all, so I was just doing what I felt like doing.
So you couldn't see me.
I know you were minimized because the screen sharing took the screen
Oh,
away.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe we should do the song one more time, and then Callum, can you put me on speaker view? I love the way you put that Peace Boom poster up. That was cool. But that was what I was thinking too with it. But I think that Iona is helping us have a point here. It's really nice to do this with the right movements. That's the whole idea. So having fun in the beginning and getting carried away is good too. I mean, I like that. So can you put me on speaker view then, Callum? And we'll play
Yep.
this one more time.
We're on speaker now and the other two are muted, so it won't pick them up.
So should I mute myself? Okay. I
No,
can see
you
a
want to stay.
problem. I'm having a problem, and that's that my I think I'm gonna die and leave you, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to end this right now, really quickly. So if you can start the music. Okay,
Yep, 1 second. Getting there.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't charge my computer enough, and I'm not plugged in, so I may have to switch to another thing, because I'd like to hear more feedback from you.
I lay me down upon the grass, my hands upon my head, and there my back at last at rest. My eyes took on it.
Well, now I'm gone, I think. Sorry.
Reverie, I felt the strength grow in me. I felt my body all go, an inner vision began to grow. There in my
Lolo, you're still on.
I am?
Yes.
Oh, so sorry. I was going to start this on a tablet.
No, you're good.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Sorry about that. I got the wrong message.
I lay me down upon the grass, my hands upon my head, and there my back at last at rest. My eyes took on a different view.
Well, there we are. So I had a thought while I was doing it that perhaps I might as well start doing the 12 movements at the beginning.
Yeah,
That,
it was actually confusing to me that you were not.
yes, yes. I was just thinking that it might be because I was kind of having fun acting out the movements, you know, inner strength and all this stuff, but that can be confusing and it, yeah, it isn't necessary. So perhaps I should do it with just see how it falls, doing from the very beginning, the whole amalgamation.
And the same thing happened. There was a screenshot, so you were minimal.
Oh, I see. Huh.
So just
Yeah.
when you're doing that, don't do screenshots.
Well, I think, I don't know if you can play, Callum, can you play that audio without the screen share?
I'm not sure. I only know how to do it that way.
Yeah, I don't think the sound comes through if you're not
Oh,
doing screen
it's
share.
a wonderful song. I love it.
So that's the words that were in the poem to the left. Oop, I think Lolo's frozen.
Oh, yeah.
She may be leaving us.
Yeah. It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
We just have an hour anyway.
it's supposed to be an hour. I
Oh.
think that maybe what I could do is just close us up, and if Lolo would like to reconnect, we can do that. Oh, there she goes. So I just want to thank Lolo for sure, and Iona and Callum and Terry for joining us today with We the World's World Unity Week celebration. And if you are interested in learning more about We the World, and we have partners, thousands of partners all over the world, and it's a wonderful network of networks. So you can join us at we.net, and if you'd like to partner with us, come in at we.net/partner. And again, thank you all for joining, and peace.
Thank you, Sue. Peace.